Yo, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to the start of the bullshit. That's how we're gonna start this season off with. Yeah, I'm your host as always, Elliot Barr. Joining me, some of my crazy friends are covering this league, the league that every year we get promised there's a new team coming, but then they realize, I could go to the championship and then become a mid-tier loser, and then go back to League One. We're walking 90. How is everyone doing tonight? How are you guys doing? I missed out. How are y'all?
God damn. Okay. I'm
Because
good.
I'm sorry, I get tired of that conversation. Like, oh,
It's
what's the difference
it's
between being a championship and League One? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
it's literally
Doesn't
the
matter.
most exhausting lower league soccer conversation.
That's fair, honestly.
Well, it comes down to so much like dumb minutia that like most fans, unless they're like really in the mud, like don't understand.
Yeah.
Because it's just like I don't know, man. Like perception, ego. Like I don't know. Like would you
If you
It's
rather
throw
be
the
the
dirt
always
on you,
ego.
that's it.
well? And I think Yogi has the best point about it. It's like League One literally saved his club, and
Ta-da!
it's like at the end of the day, well, it's like the big fish, little pond, big or small fish, big pond kind of conversation. Would you rather be Omaha or Hartford? I think most fans would probably say Omaha, but
Gotta
you
go
don't know you're
Omaha.
but you don't know you're a Hartford till you're Hartford. Everyone thinks they're going to be the next Louisville until you get in the league and then you get your teeth kicked in. And you're like, oh, we Rhode Island don't belong here.
Oh no, it's
That
not
was
even me
us,
in Hartford.
honestly.
Do you want to be the next Rio Grande Valley? Oh, okay. Then shut the fuck up. Like, I'm
Well,
sorry.
I'll give you my hot NCFC takeoff line.
Oh, okay.
It's not that hot, but it's essentially like if they do USL Premier, I think NCFC is going to end up in USL Premier.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
That's cute.
I was doing I had some free time and I was like charting it out, and it's like, yeah, I mean, makes sense. East Coast got the teams, like got the stadium, but that would be like the funniest like rags to riches story. 'Cause it's like self demote, self promote, or promote actually. They won it on the field,
Yeah.
and then like, hey, go back up.
There you go.
And then we
There
just
you
we
go.
just keep going to the top. We're not
Yeah.
gonna talk about that. We're not gonna. I'll come back on for when it's time for Open Cup and NCFC is playing Richmond for because you can't play DC United. Blah bullshit. Blah blah.
They
Somebody.
scared. They scared. They scared.
MLS soft. All right, let's go.
Hey, stickers
All
are
right.
coming soon, guys.
Yes, stickers are coming soon. So first and foremost, everyone, if you have never watched Walking Down the episode, welcome on to the
We're
craziest.
sorry.
Yeah.
Not sorry. As your favorite drink, we're kind of a laid back, chill show. You know, we're like your late night talk show that gets syndicated and then realize, oh, this was bad decision that we have made, but it's too late because we already signed a contract.
Shout
So
out
in the
Conan O'Brien.
comments, right? In the comments, feel free to comment, put them in there. If you're watching this live, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. The goal is by the end of this year to have 200 followers on YouTube. I think we're like at 98, so we're about 102 away. So, but that's the goal. So today we got our preseason show. We're gonna go team by team, telling what we like, what we don't like, how we think your team's gonna do, the ceiling and floor of said team, and maybe Zion might drop an angry DM like an X. Who knows? But we'll figure it out.
Well, and here's the
So
important thing to remember as always. If we say something negative about your team, it's 100% personal. And we hate you personally as a fan. It's your
Yes.
fault.
Yes. Greenville is still on my radar. Okay.
We hate you specifically.
that is still wild.
It's always
That
funny.
Greenville.
The boos are always loudest from the cheapest seats, right?
Yeah. If you want us to like your team, send us jerseys.
Shout out Tormento.
I'm just saying, like, who was it? Oakland sent the USL show jerseys in Rhode Island. I'm just saying, USL,
Yeah.
you want to do better. Send us kits.
Yeah,
I
we're
wear
very
3X.
we're very
I can
cheap.
be bought.
Yeah,
can
we're
be
very
bought.
cheap. Our love can be bought for a very low price, very reasonable price.
Actually,
Not
yeah.
low.
Not even-
We're gonna value
even like
ourselves. Low
half.
price, very value filled price. Love you too, Gio.
Yeah. Send us kits. So let's go ahead. Let's get started. Um, Chip, you are up first. Let's talk about your favorite team, Union Omaha.
Cool. So I guess just to really explain the format to everyone real quick, uh, like the pre-rankings and everything are boring. So we're kind of doing a different format where we're just going to go across every single team in the league. We're going to hit some key points like what has changed, what's the same, key part of the season, things like that, and go across the board. And of course, Kyle isn't here tonight because he is in Canada for reasons we won't discuss. So we are free
Drugs,
to.
health insurance.
I mean,
Better.
Drug.
Isn't it the land of cocaine now? That's
Who
ain't
knows?
count as cocaine. I'm just saying, isn't it the land of cocaine?
yeah. We're not saying he's there because of cocaine, but we're not saying he's not there because of cocaine.
Someone has to front Madison, $1 billion striker.
Well, right,
Oh.
exactly. Like someone is there to pay Madison's wage bill, and Kyle's stepping up.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, I got it for you, Connor. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna make the run. So these aren't. I'm not sure what order we really did the teams in, but Omaha is first for some reason. So I guess that's a great place to start. Where did Omaha finish last year? So Omaha finished last year in first place. Obviously, they won the Supporters Shield. They lost in the semifinals of the playoffs to Charlotte and PKs, which take it as you will. So our categories are what has changed, what is the same, key part of the season, noticeable questions, crazy prediction, ceiling/floor for this team. So I'm going to read off my script because I prepared for this earlier and I did a lot of research. So I'm going to go into my Rich voice. By the way, Rich, friend of the program, is now the PA voice for Tormenta. So big ups to him. As per usual, Omaha sent a bunch of guys off to the USL Championship and had other parts of their team, Heel and Doyle, picked off by the other carrion birds of this league. Omaha responded by bringing in lots of USLC talent, Gomez, Jerome, and PC, proven talent from MLS Next Pro, Lapsley, Malone, and MLS, Hiba. It will be interesting to see how Omaha gels, as it's the third year in a row with massive roster churn. This is the first time Cassiato has had a full control over the roster as he arrived in late 23, so hopefully he avoids some of the growing pains the team suffered in 23. Around the league, the consensus seems to be that Omaha has had one of the best off seasons on paper besides Lexington, so that despite the turnover at home, Omaha will be facing big expectations again. So
I love it.
What a great ad read. We're available for ad reads, by the way. But no, I think overall, but I think the big thing it's Omaha, right? They've been one of the top teams in the league again and again and again. They get picked off by everybody in USL 1, USLC, and everywhere around, and they have a lot of roster churn. Like they didn't bring back a lot of people. They brought back a very nice core, and it's all a question of how Cassiato kind of manages bringing all these new pieces. And we'll kind of get into it later in my Omaha predictions, but I think that's going to be a big theme overall in USL this year is the schedule is compacted. We are only playing 22 regular season games. So it's all about who can get hot fast. Like last year, Omaha did not do good. Like the vice president of one of the main Omaha supporters groups, like stopped going to games last year because he said this team sucks. Like they lasted because they picked it up and they went on a huge run. But
I beg your pardon. What?
Yeah, yeah, that was the thing that happened last year. But no, I mean, but it's like,
I'm glad he's not a Richmond fan. He would have gave him soccer.
He died. He'd be dead.
What?
He's 6 feet under. But no, I mean, and I just think it's the thing though. There's a lot less like operating air this year, and I think it's going to really favor teams that have an established core, which thankfully there's not like a ton of because a lot of these teams got just like ran over this year. But it's a matter of like how quick can Cassiato get this team going, and which we'll get you later. So, what is the same? Not a ton. Omaha did keep some very important pieces. Kunga, Ahoff, Neuhoff, Steven Descendas, Dobella. which will give them a strong backbone to build off of. While they did lose some massive pieces in the offseason, they're building from a place of strength and will hopefully avoid a lot of the issues they had last offseason. So I think that's the big thing is I think the most important – I don't need to say names, Gio. So I think the big piece for – I'll say names right now. The big piece to watch for Omaha this year is Dolabella. Last year, Dolabella had to play back in the pivot, and that does not suit his strengths. He's a 10. He's a creative player. He wants to be up top. He wants to be distributing the ball. So this year, especially with the Jiba signing, he's going to play up top. He's got Gomez, SDS in front of him. He's got Jiba on the side, Dion on the other side. They're going to have a lot of creative attacking power up front, and that's going to be huge for Omaha this year because they're going to be able to have a lot more creation. He really stagnated last year playing back with JP, but playing forward, he's going to have a lot of opportunity to really shine. And I think that's the biggest player to watch for Omaha this year. He's kind of like the bellwether player. If he's good, Omaha's going to be really good. If he has a bad year, it ain't looking pretty. But I think Omaha has a lot of really good things going, and they kept enough of like the spine of the team that'll be fine. And hopefully Casieta will be able to fold everyone in. So next noticeable questions. How are the new pieces going to gel? Well, they have a proven goal scorer in SDS and Gomez. The whole midline behind them is going to be different. The faster that gets up and running, the sooner we'll know if they have it or not. And again, that's the thing. In this league, in every league, it's about goals. Like if these guys were proven killers, they wouldn't be in USL 1. They'd be higher up the pyramid. So can Omaha get these guys up and running? Can they figure out how to score? Can they figure out how to score early, especially in the cup? Omaha's in the toughest, possibly the toughest group for the cup. So they need to figure out how to score so they have something to fall back on if they don't win out the group, because their pairings in the cross cup really are not favorable. So the quicker they can get up and figure out how to score, the more room for error they have. And that's really the case across the board for everyone. And it sounds like really stupid, like the team that scores most is going to win. But in this league, scoring goals is not a skill that every team has. And if you can figure out how to score, you can cover up a lot of problems. So my crazy prediction, and again, on Twitter, I kind of teased this and said, all the Omaha fans are going to tell me I'm as spicy as Runs a Ranch, and the rest of the league's going to be like, Chip, you're fucking crazy. So my crazy prediction is a league triple this year. And again, crazy prediction.
Mm-hmm.
Across the league, you look at most people who I would say that know what they're talking about. Most people have Omaha 1, 2, or 3, along with Lexington and Madison. So if we're going completely crazy, a league triple would be the prediction, right? Like, so that would be the league shield, playoff winner, cup winner. Do I think that's going to happen? Not necessarily, but again, it's my crazy prediction. It could happen, and I would say the same for Lexington at them. But yeah, I mean that's the crazy prediction, and I probably should throw in an open cup question there, but that is a complete who knows. So my ceiling / floor is the ceiling again is triple. You know, you win the whole damn thing 3 times. And my floor for this, if you don't make the playoffs as Omaha this year, like you're real pissed off. Like you're reshuffling the whole deck. But you know, the floor would definitely be missing the playoffs. You know, 66% of the damn teams in this league make the playoffs. If you don't miss the playoffs, like you need to like find God.
Yeah, that's fair.
Especially if you're like an Omaha or Lexington or Madison. Like you did something wrong.
That's fair.
That's fair. I got questions about you putting Lexington in top 5, but
we'll save that. Because I need to hear this.
We'll say. Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna pass the baton over to our hipster delegation, Brandon, over there.
Who has a new podcast? Plug the podcast.
Yeah, Brandon, plug the new podcast.
Yeah. So I started a new podcast this week, Triumph, Liberty, and the Pursuit of Happiness with my friend Jeremy Darnell. Really exciting stuff. You can check us out on Spotify. Follow us on Twitter at POPPod. What?
I said the intro music is fire.
Oh yeah, shout out to Be Nice for that. Former Harlem Globetrotter and Greenville fan for providing the music for us. So Huge shout out to him. Yeah. What can I say?
All right.
Providing all of our music for the podcast. So it's a great time. Come join us. TOP Pod 864 on Twitter. Triumph Liberty and the Pursuit of Happiness on Spotify or wherever else you get your podcasts. So yeah, but Greenville, it's an interesting time. So last year we were 5th, which was kind of a weird feeling, right? I talked a little bit about this on my recent podcast, the TOP Pod.
Like, share, subscribe.
Plug it one more time for the listeners. You got 63 people watching. Plug it one more time.
I'm gonna go plug it on Twitter now too.
Right.
Rewind one more time. Yeah. Why don't we just play that instead of me explaining what's going on right now?
Listen, if you want to plug
So I'm going to share my screen really quick.
Slots.
We're going to share my screen really quickly. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, so we did kind of slow down there towards the end of the season, tired legs, and just didn't really have what it took to make it past the first round of the playoffs. We're knocked out by Charlotte, first round. Kind of, honestly, again, felt like that was where we deserved to be at the end of the season. So we got there, and then after that, John Harkes left, and everybody was kind of freaking out because it's John Harkes, and he's led us to success for so long now. And so, yeah. Lost John Harkes and other members of the coaching staff, and then they went through an extensive interview process, and they hired Rick Wright as the new assistant coach. And so Rick brought in his own guys, new goalkeeping coach, new assistant coach. Obviously, Ryan Mackey stayed, and so that's for performance and things like that. But we also lost our entire midfield. So we lost Aaron Walker and Noah Pilato, and replace them with players like Chapo Herrera and Carlos Anguiano and some college players. So, yeah, a lot has changed. We've definitely focused on bringing in younger talent. The average age for the departures was almost 27, and the average age of the people coming in is 24. So we're trending a lot younger, so that should be an interesting change to see. And, spending another year at Paladin Stadium. Unfortunately, that is not changing just yet, but hopefully that'll come soon. So, yeah, what stayed the same, obviously, is similar to what Chip said. We've kept a pretty solid core. I mean, we kept our striker. We kept our full defensive line. And we kept a couple of really important attackers. So I'm pretty pleased with what we've kept. I think that, with these new players, they're surrounded by people who know what it takes to win. And honestly, a lot of the players we brought in, even from the college level, they're all winners. And so what we've kept are a bunch of people who know what it takes and can do what it takes. People like Leo Castro, and then Evan Lee and Brendan Fricke in the back. And so, yeah, no, I think we have a good shot at doing really well this year still, even though I feel like a lot of people have question marks about the team, which are somewhat understandable in some cases. I do think that we are going to have to, like, the most important part of our season is going to be closer to July. I think we might struggle to get off the block at the beginning, just because, again, we're trending so much younger, and we're going to have to gel in what sounds like a completely new system than we've ever had before, a lot more technical, and it's just going to be a lot of changes. And so there might be a learning curve there that caused us to get off to a slow start. In a second, I'll tell you my actually crazy prediction there. But yeah, and then also, like, our depth is mostly college players. And the question for that is, like, can they make it? I mean, we've got a lot of great players who have played at elite college programs and elite USL2 programs. And they can make an impact, a big impact. In fact, I think there are a couple who could get a lot of first team minutes this year, but it's college, and so you never know until they touch the field. And so we'll see what happens there. But so my crazy prediction actually for Greenville is that we kind of get knocked out of some tournaments early, just because we might be struggling to gel a little bit, but that gives us what we need to push on to a home playoff spot. And I'm going to even go so far as to say the final, because we start gelling towards the end of the season. That's a crazy prediction, so I'm not sure.
Well, I agree with you. Then we'll talk about that during my Tormenta, but that East group is very vulnerable for someone to make a deep run. I think it's going to be really hard to qualify for that semifinal. But that East group of Richmond, Charlotte, Greenville, and Tormenta,
Yes.
like who knows who comes out of that alive?
Mm-hmm.
And who does Greenville have for crossovers?
Good question.
Sorry, say that one more time.
Who do they have for their 2 crossover games? So I know Tormenta has Fuego and Knox.
Let's see.
That's a really good question.
And not to derail that, but that was so
Spokane and they play Greenville. I mean, they play. No, it's just Spokane. That's their one crossover.
They should have one more though, shouldn't they?
No, they've got Kickers twice, Charlotte twice, Tormenta twice, and then Spokane. Oh, Lexington.
Yeah.
All the green on the screen, it just blended in.
Yeah. Lex is tough. But no, that East group I think is wide open. I think there's a lot of power concentrated in the West and center, but yeah, I think that those East teams could be poised for a breakout, just because if you make the semis, like you're already functionally halfway there.
Already. Chip, you skipped a part, by the way, I noticed, for yours.
Oh.
So before we get to Chattanooga, we need to get your stretch of the season for you.
I got too excited. So Omaha, their key stretch is that first month of the season, the 3-16 to 5-18. We have 6 games. Of those, we're having 4 of our 11 away games, and we're playing a lot of teams that we should beat if people are thinking we're a top 2-3 team. And so if we can pick up 12 of 18 points there, I think that sets the pace for the season. And with how slow starting we were last year, if we can get points early, that sets the table for later. And I think for Omaha, that's the big thing, getting points early. Because like last year, I used my joke early, but last year we literally had a VP of a supporters group say he was going to stop coming to games because of how bad the team was. So if we can avoid that, get some wins, like we're good. We're in gravy.
That's crazy. That is the craziest part.
Yeah, and 12 of 18 is still a lot. Like 12 of 18 is 2 points per game. But so even that's like pretty high, but 12 of 18 with 4 on the road, like that's a great start.
Yeah.
So we'll see if they can do that, but we'll see. And I don't know, with the expectations I think that Omaha has this year, I don't think that's crazy, because it's like it's most of the bottom half of the league. So it's like get your points. Fuego on the road to start. Like, man, hopefully you guys beat them, but we'll see what Jermaine Jones does with his 6 total signed players.
Hey, I have faith in Jermaine Jones. He is the key to my heart. Chattanooga. It is me, your favorite person, coming to preview you for the start of the season. Last year you finished 10th. That's really fucking bad. I don't know what was going on. Well, actually I do. It's the one thing that changed in the offseason, and it's the back line, because it was garbage. And it makes sense to change something that's garbage. And you did it, and I'm proud of you. Good job. Good job. But what they did do was keep that forward line. Scoring's never been a problem for Chattanooga. It hasn't. They've had their moments of like whatever, but also whatever you just opened was so fucking loud.
I know. I'm sorry.
The greatest.
That's why I was like, don't be loud. But of course,
it was loud, but it's okay. They kept their forward line, and I mean, when you have the top man Mario Lomas on the squad for 2 years in a row, how can you not be excited? Either way, don't make that face. You know it's true. He's
know
not
it's
gonna do. He's not gonna do anything for you, but he's gonna make all your other forwards look great when they score 3.
Who do you hate more, Lomas or Keegan?
Oh,
Kyle, and Keegan.
It was-
Kyle gets saying
I
Keegan.
don't hate Keegan, but I love how much Kyle hates Keegan.
I have all those cardio Keegan stickers from last year that I
I
forgot
need
to
more.
send out. I'll send you.
need
I
more.
forgot to send stickers to everyone. I'll do that. But I'm sending the rest of them to the no code group, but they're all in one box colors.
Yo, I just need Keegan to score at Madison.
We just need
Oh,
to do it in every single team's color. Either way.
He's gonna end up at every single team anyway, so you might as well do it now.
If Keegan scores at Madison, I would cry. Just like tears.
Bro, you know he's gonna go all in with that celebration. This is going to be top tier shithousery.
Well,
It's gonna be great.
I would die. Either way, they play the same position of like not great, but uplift everyone around you. That's a true veteran right there.
Yeah. Kyle's not here, so he can't stop me. So I have a really great joke during the Madison segment, which I'm sure all of our haters will love.
A key part of the season to me for Chattanooga was that stretch in June. They play a lot of teams that should very much be in the playoffs this year. And then they also play Georgia. So I feel like that's going to really determine what kind of team this is. Like, are we about to just call it a wash by the end of June and be like, hey, it's time for y'all to play the kids. It's time for y'all to hire, do whatever, fire, clean house again, whatever it is, because it's not working. Or they're going to come out of that with some very good, gritty wins and draws, and we're going to be like, they might sneak in at that like 6th spot for the playoffs. So I'm excited for this team just to see like where they go, which is one of my notable questions. Like, can they get back to the Chattanooga of old? Can they get these results? Can this team gel enough to get them to where they need to be? Because clearly something wasn't working last year, and now they've got to fix it quick so that they don't get left behind in this league that they kind of like dominated for a season or two in the beginning. So I would love to see them back. I don't know if they can do it. I don't want to say faith. I'm optimistic that they can pull something together. Maybe it doesn't start to come together until the end of the year. But it's a solid squad. It's not gonna nothing to write home about, but it's definitely, like Chip said, it's very hard to miss the playoffs in this league. So I feel like my crazy prediction for them kind of leans into that. But
they're definitely a tweener squad, I think.
Yeah, I think they surprised everybody by winning the in-season tournament, but then missed the playoffs.
Okay.
Like, that's a wild one to do, but
That's
if there's a team that can
be tough.
Yeah.
That's a tough group. That's a tough group right there. Like,
their ceiling is playoffs, honestly. If that's as high as they can go, like 6th, it'd be fitting for like a rebuild squad, but also the floor is them in 10th again, which could also very much happen because a lot of teams got better over the offseason. A lot of teams splashed some cash. A lot of teams signed some very surprising stars that we weren't ready for. But this league is very polarizing, and I'm liking what I'm seeing as an outsider looking in. So I don't think they do much, but I think they can rattle a few cages and hopefully sneak in somewhere, either into the in-season tournament playoffs or into the regular season playoffs.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll take Kyle's pick and whatnot because I refuse to do Ford Madison. All right. Also, by the way, Chattanooga
I
Rebels got
volunteer
a
for Ford
new.
Madison.
Oh God.
Look, it was either me or him, and I'm not doing Ford Madison. I'm not. No.
I feel like it can be fairly well. The problem with me doing Ford Madison is no matter what I say, certain people will think it's subjective, even if I'm literally reading Kyle's words. But that's what makes it funnier.
That's actually the best part, really. So
Well,
yes,
right. It's like I'm literally reading the Ford Madison guy's words, so I don't know.
We'll see. By the way, Chattanooga Rebels, they got a new podcast out there. I think it's called Red Wolf Chat or something. I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, there's another. I think every team in this league has someone covering it in some form or fashion, which is
good.
great.
Support local coverage.
Because Lord knows the national coverage of this league is non-existent. All right, let me stop playing around. All right, so what Knox finished last year in 8th place. What has changed? They lost Cardio Keegan and Villabolos for reasons. We'll just put quotation marks around that. It added Keys for Ajay to provide the attacking spark to complement Gio Collectro, which is great. Like Keys for Ajay is probably one of the hottest off-season additions out there. I kind of feel like it went under the radar a little bit just because of what Lexington has done, and a lot of the focus has been put on that. But besides that, that's great. The coach somehow is still there. Once again, quotation marks. Jalen Chrysler and Jordan Skelton will lead the back line, and Sean Lewis will be in goal, which is vital to Knoxville having any success. I will say this right now: Jalen Chrysler, by the end of the season, will be in the USL League One team this season. He is one of the best center backs in this league, if not the best. That's just not me saying that because I miss him in Richmond. The tough part of the season for Knoxville, however, is September 14th to October 26th. The end of the season, Knoxville will play Lexington, Omaha, Chattanooga, Fuego, Madison, and Spokane. All of these games, except for Fuego, will be on the road. And Knoxville is contending for the playoffs. This will be the stretch where they would need to get at least a point in most of the matches while struggling. It can lead to them ending up with the wooden spoon. Pay attention to that wooden spoon part because it's about to get crazier from here. How will the team chemistry be after the inquiry directed at the head coach? Those are some of the questions surrounding the team. And will they score enough goals to be successful? Because that's another thing that kind of led to this team not hitting the peaks they were supposed to hit last year. This is Kyle's crazy prediction. This is not mine. Please send all incendiary emails to Kyle@walking90.com. One Knox will be in the battle for the wooden spoon. That is Kyle's crazy prediction. The ceiling for this team is a playoff team that loses in the first round. The floor is the wooden spoon. I open the floor for questions to try to respond for Kyle.
That's kind of
Once again, send all angry emails to Kyle@walking90.com.
That's two very big extremes. Like, what, Kyle? I didn't question it because I to be fair, I did my part and then I left the thing until I opened it up again today. That's two very drastic endpoints, sir. Like, that's
but is it though?
Yeah, like I can see where he's coming from.
Well, like the whole point of this. So I think we could set this up without getting in trouble. The whole point of the we'll go. The whole point of this new schedule, it isn't balanced. It's the fact that certain teams on the lower end of the schedule felt like their games stopped mattering. So people stopped coming because the games didn't matter and yada, yada, yada. So they wanted an additional cup and some games so that all the games matter. So that's why
how MLS of them.
I know.
Which is a complete lie because Richmond was literally selling out games and we were shit.
Well, and the real thing is fucking get good. Madison. But anyways, so the whole point with this is like it's about the whole point of this is Like, yeah, but that's how the fucking playoffs work, and we already half the teams make the fucking playoffs. That's 66% of the teams is too many fucking teams. That's too many. Like, hard stop. That's too many fucking teams in the playoffs. Like, we aren't proving anything. Like, making the playoffs isn't an accomplishment. It's like, so that's like Kyle's comment. It's like they're either going to make the playoffs, which like isn't a big deal, or make the wooden spoon, which is like, so it's the difference between 8th and 12th. It's like, cool. Like, cool. Like that isn't a big jump.
Oh man. Okay.
That's
all right.
But I think that's the big thing with it. It's like, that's like not as hot of a take as it seems. It's like, well, are you 8th or 12th? And it's like, well, it's not that huge of a gap. And hey, Dave.
like, I know we late most of the time, but we not an hour late.
Well, I tagged him in the Hunt's comment about Chip could say Madison would go undefeated in the city of Madison and be like, nah, you trying to jinx us. So I think that's where he found out. So that's my bad.
He was like, oh, they back?
Oh shit, they're back tonight. They're back. But no, I mean, but I think that's like the thing is like it's a very silly. Ultimately, it's a very silly format where like everybody makes the fucking playoffs, and that's a different comment. And you know, ultimately, it's a discussion about the USL League One Cup where I made a comment about it tonight, where it's like I am like the biggest hater of the USL One Cup because I think it's completely stupid and superfluous, but at the same time, it's like it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
But also, it's so stupid. It is so
like
fun.
if your team wins it, you love it, and then your team gets
Well,
knocked
right.
out by the third game, you're like, "Yeah, play the kids."
Well, and so I didn't realize this because I was doing, and I'm giving some stuff away, but I was looking at like Tormenta matchups. It's like, okay, this could be fun for Tormenta fans, but it's so fucking stupid. It's so dumb. It's like this is the dumbest. Like this is the dumbest possible way to do this. Because it's not even like even pods. We play like the same 4 teams. It's this is so dumb.
I don't know. Yeah,
But,
I mean, I get it. I just don't care for the penalties and the
well, right. It's very
the top goal scorer goes regardless. Like that's dope.
well, right. Well, and that's why it's gonna be so super shitty because like the East group is like it's nobody's, and then like the center and west are these gonna be this like slugfest. Yeah. It's like what is this about?
I don't like. I'm pretty sure no one looked at that and was like, you know what, Richmond and Green are going to score a lot of goals. Like no.
Well, and again, like I don't think anybody looked at this as like, well, we're trying to favor this team over this team or whatever. I think it's just like we got a sponsor that's going to pay us $100,000 to like do this tournament and put their name on it. So like, let's do it. And again, like the reason we're doing it is because certain teams at the bottom of the league are like, we're out already at the end of the year. Like, can we get something?
You're going to be out at the end of the year of this too, because guess what? You suck.
Well, yeah.
Damn.
You're already out. You stink.
Yeah.
No, it'll be. I think it's very silly, but it'll be fun. But
how did we indirectly just call them broke?
Because we all know who the broke teams are.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fair.
All right. So it's back to me again, and I'm about to be a homer. Just put it out there. We're talking about Richmond, the team that is in red. We're about as red as West End Richmond. It's about as red as South America. About as red as Alabama. It's about to be that kind of red night. Make America red again.
Wow.
Just put that out there. Oh yeah, so we finished 11th. Team was dog crap. We did win a game after July 1st. Literally, our last win was Chattanooga. Went to Union Omaha, and we lost 4-1 with a double red card to Union Omaha. Since then, July 8th, we did not win a game. We were absolutely crap. So you would think with a crap team, a lot of changes coming. Not so fast. So they added depth to the team, which is great. This team was lacking depth all over the field. Like the defensive line was dead, midfield was dead. We had 1,000 wingers, nobody could score. So they added depth to the team. We got a new goalkeeper room. Akira went to NCFC. Is probably the weirdest transfer known to man.
He wanted to come home.
That's fine. But I need y'all to stop lying like Akira about to start. Like y'all put this man in goalkeeper photos in this dope goalkeeper jersey. Like he's not the third choice goalkeeper.
Look,
Let's get this understood.
I just show up.
Y'all signed this man for AARP reasons. He's there to approve y'all for FAFSA. Let's get this straight. Okay. And Will Palmquist that nobody knew about is retired. Literally moved back at the end of the season to Colorado. Our head coach was at a conference, saw Palmquist, asked him what's up. He was like, "Are you coming to practice?" He was like, "No, I'm retired." So we got a whole new goalkeeper room. That's what we ended up with Pablo Hara here. Yeah, it's crazy. All right, so things that I've kind of say the same. So we returned the most players in the league. A lot of those players come back on 2 years and retired from last year. So we did have a lot of additions. You didn't see the high profile signings like Lexington and Warnox and Charlotte and whatnot. You didn't see those. But the most important thing is that Neil Vinyals and Emiliano Terzaghi are healthy and ready to go. Emiliano Terzaghi was literally the best player on the worst team last year. He had the most chances created. If he was on any other team, he would have had the most assists in the league. That's a wild stat. Emmy, for the longest time, I think all the way up until September, if I can't remember, he was still in the Golden Boot race, but he didn't play a game since mid-August. Yeah. Just want to put that out there. So the crazy stretch for Richmond goes like this. From March 16th to April 13th, literally the start of the season, they will play Spokane away, Tormenta, Fuego at home, and Madison away. They need to get off to a good start, like a strong start. As last year, they never really got up to the start, and it kind of hindered them because it was kind of like start, go. They will win, draw, lose. It would kind of like repeat that cycle. They never really built up consistency. They don't need to win every game. Like, it'd be great if they did. I'm not going to lie. Like, I would love it if we start off 4-0. But 6 to 9 points will be a really strong start. You also play Crystals FC, a team that notoriously beat us in the U.S. Open Cup in 2016. They went on a strong run. So winning that game would kind of build momentum as well. But they also did some goodwill and kind of getting the fan base back. With the red jerseys, also allowing fans to come to preseason matches. So keep them going. Winning games early will really help that momentum charge. The questions around these teams kind of go like this. Defensively, mainly the fullback areas, as their system lives off hybrid fullbacks, like fullbacks are able to get them to attack and provide, but also can defend low and cut off crosses that can support. Yes, we added Maxi Shenfield. He's 32. And then behind that, you really don't have a backup right back to fit. You have Becca Howe. He's 18. So really, I think there, if you can add some additional depth, probably before the season or midway through the season, will really help. Just having 4 solid fullbacks would be great. As it stands right now, like I said, if there is an injury, that can kind of hit on the process. We saw that last year with Hornsby. The team played his best when Hornsby was healthy. The team played his worst when Hornsby was hurt. That's really where it comes down to. Like, they got better depth in midfield. You added James Vaughn. You got Justin Succo, Jao Gamero, Neil Vinyals. You got depth there. Out of the wings, you got Tony Pineda, Landon Johnson, Arthur Boussois, who I think is a good striker, Emiliano Terzaghi. You got depth there. Center back, you got depth. My main thing is just the fullback area. I'm just kind of concerned about that. So my crazy prediction for this team is that they will secure a playoff spot on the last day of the season, but they will make it to the semis of the USL League playoffs. Also, Pineda, the new winger, will have at least 6 goal contributions this season, and we will be in the top 4 goal scoring. So my ceiling for this team, like how bad I think they will be, I think they'll barely miss the playoffs. Like, I think they'll barely make the playoffs, and they'll be one and done. And the one and done will be bad. Like, we'll get blown out 3-0. Like, it won't even be close. The floor for this team, and this is where the homer part of me comes in. So, Ev, fix your face, because I know it was coming. This team will be a top 4 seed. Will go to the finals, win the US Open Cup. US No, that U.S. Open Cup. They will win the league finals. My bad. I was getting confused. They will win the league finals. They will make the semis of the League Cup, and they will make the quarterfinals of the U.S. Open Cup. It will be one MLS team.
I liked it better when you said you're going to win the Open Cup. Like, I'm just imagining Richmond beating, like...
Bro, if we win the Open Cup, I don't give a damn about the league at that point.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that would be nuts.
I don't give a damn about the league.
That would be the ultimate, like, screw you MLS moment right there.
Yeah.
The Richmond Kickers winning the Open Cup again.
Yeah, there we go. All right, so I'll open the floor to questions. Ev, you look drunk already.
So the big question is,
I'm as drunk as your fucking
is,
statement.
Why is your home jersey so trash?
Because this is the last year with Adidas. I know people are trying to make a big deal out of it, but literally, we don't care about that. Like, the jersey's red. I don't give about anything else.
We'll talk about them later, but I do think the funniest thing is we've been doing that hot or not thing for the kits, and the everyone's been hot so far besides Charlotte's, which I think Charlotte's is completely fine, but it's like, man, just how much do people hate? I didn't realize people hated Charlotte that much.
Yeah.
I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth.
I think it's more of the owner.
Yeah.
But yeah, about Richmond jerseys, like, we didn't care. We just wanted red. Like,
You got it.
Well, we got it. That's all we cared about.
We've already talked about this. We've already talked about it in the pod, but it's like, I don't know, all the Richmond fans wanted red. They have a plain red jersey. It's like, it's what they want. This is who's buying the kit. Like, who the fuck cares what people in Madison or Spokane says? Like, it's what they wanted. Like, they got it.
This jersey wasn't for other people outside of Richmond.
Nah.
No, it's like, you fuckers wanted bread.
They
wanted
exactly
bread and circus. You got bread and circus. There you go. Have fun. Bye.
They knew exactly how many season ticket holders they had, and they ordered that exact amount, and they said, "Here is your red kit," and that's all.
Dude,
I don't
want to go black in blood, baby.
No,
that's all we wanted.
They've been fucking belly aching about the fucking red jerseys now for like 4 fucking years.
No, it's been one because last year, even the front office knew that they were lying. But they were like, "Oh, this jersey's red." No, it's black, asshole. That's red.
Yeah.
Hey, can you say your prediction again with a straight face so that I can listen to it one more time?
Someone post Alex comment on there.
All right, so my prediction is that Richmond will make the semifinals of the USL League playoffs. They make the finals of the League Cup, and they'll make the quarterfinals of the US Open Cup. So that's my prediction.
Well, and again, like we talked about, like that Eastern group is wide open.
Yeah.
And Alex, yes, no one gives a fuck what the fuckers Madison say about shit.
Yeah.
And Kyle's not here to say that.
We know our jersey is gang affiliated, all right? We know that. We're cool with that.
Can't say the B. Can't say a B in the whole city. God damn.
Yeah, no. You're in town, baby. Oh, baby.
You had me questioning myself because I unconsciously did that. And it's like, it's like, no, if anything, I did a crypt sign, not a blood sign. So I'm not that big of an asshole.
Oh no.
I was like, oh no, did I do something bad? It's like, no, he's doing okay or something. And it's like, no, you're fine, Chip.
Oh, man.
The dangers of having 2 white podcasts. It's like, oh shit, did I do something bad?
Did I do something wrong? Oh my gosh.
Like, oh no.
That's why I don't talk. I'm not muted. That's why I haven't talked. I'm terrified the whole time.
If I did that, it's like, oh no. But it's like, no, that's not what that symbol is. That's if anything, I did a crypt symbol, which is different.
This is why we need like a 3-part episode, taking Chip and Brandon to the hood and just leave them there and just see how they interact with people.
I would love to see them go through the streets of Richmond before a game. I would die. Oh my god,
dude! When I was in Richmond, it was really funny. We were at so Yogi, what's that? The bar we went to for the game? The
Gus's.
Yeah.
Oh, Gus, damn.
And I was like, so is there like a Richmond beer people drink? He's like, PBR. And it's like, well, like, is there like a local, like, he's like, PBR. It's like, okay, PBR buckets is in.
PBR. It's either PBR or Falcons match. We don't really care. Does it get you drunk?
Shut up and do
All right,
PBR.
drink it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But no, I will say, for the people that don't realize it, like Richmond low key is probably one of the best away days you can do in League One.
Oh, it's so great.
It has so much good, like craft beer, so much good food, everything else. It's a great away day.
It's fine. It's absolutely fine. All right.
Don't
I've
come
done
to
it several
Omaha.
times now. It's so great.
Don't come to Omaha. My couch was full. Especially after the baby comes. My house is full. Don't come here.
Oh my god. All
Uh,
right, I'm done. That's it for Richmond. I'm not homering too much over them, but that's my prediction. Eb, I toss it over to you so you can do
Lexington. Hi. You
I
disappointed.
haven't read these predictions yet, and
No, I just did. I just
That's the
did.
beauty of it. None of it. Look,
these are
this is the
spicy.
thing,
These
listen.
are
None of
very
us
spicy.
have looked at these predictions because we all did them at different times.
Yeah.
So literally, like this is our live reaction to these.
Eb, they're gonna get the banjos out in Lexington. They're coming for us.
Yeah.
This is
Well,
crazy.
look, mine. Yeah. I kind of went hard. Lexington finished in 9th
Bro,
last season. What's changed? I don't really know because I did this 4 minutes ago.
Everything. The whole team.
But- True, but you know what stayed the same? Doof. That's the only thing that really freaking matters is that he stayed. I don't know how they got him to stay, but he did, and y'all should build around that man. Because actually don't, because it leads into my prediction for later. But for the time that you still have him in this preseason thing that I'm doing, build around him, because how the hell did you keep him? I will give you whatever y'all offered him plus an extra $1,000 to come to NCFC yesterday, really. But either way, the key part to their season, they're really excited about what I'm going to say after this key part, but the key part to their season is April 28th through June 1st. They have 5 big games in there against some really tough opponents who I think can really help define how they incorporated new talent with vets and their playing style. They have Madison, Fuego. Fuego's going to surprise people, but they weren't my team. So I can't really say too much about them. We only know of 6 players, but I'm sure Jermaine has some really people tucked in there that we just are waiting to see. They've got the Red Wolves. They've got forward again, so they got forward out the way quick. And then they have 1 Knox. A lot of crazy things can happen with Lexington. My biggest question is, have you figured out how you want to shape your season? Last year, you said kids, labor laws, that's all. I want to see how, there are now successful models happening within the USL system. There's the Tormenta model, which is kind of like crumbled apart at this point. Let's be honest. There's the NCFC route. And then there's, the Omaha route where, build them up, get them out of here, get the next group in, keep that success train going. Do you know how you want to play? Because once you figure that out and you bring in the right guys to put around Diff, you kind of propel yourself into the top 4. But the reason why I said what I said to Chip earlier about having them in 5th is because I think you lose him in the middle of the season to a championship side.
Send all angry emails to Ebony and Walking90.
I was wondering what the hater argument that was, because I saw those earlier. I was like, that is some commentary.
That's because I think that you
That's a great point.
figure it out quick. You figure it out quick, and you guys
He's too
build
good.
up on that. Exactly. He's going to go on a scoring tear. And there's going to be some team out west that's going to be like, you know what? We need a scorer now.
Viva
And we're going to
Las Vegas.
they are coming for him.
Viva
And they're going
Las
to
Vegas.
snatch him up. But I think this is the crazy part. You've built up such a big lead in the beginning, in the first half of the season, that by the time you lose him and y'all start to suck, you can still sneak into the playoffs. So my ceiling for them is like 4th or 5th, which you lose in the first round. And my floor is that you hope that everybody else around you is, if everyone else around you is doing really well, you could end up at the bottom of the league by the end of the season because you did rely on him too much. Even though I'm telling you, yes, rely on him, you didn't have a plan B. And that's where I think it comes into play. And you could end up at the bottom of the table.
How do you think Cam Lassiter is going to do?
Oh, I see. You can throw Lancaster out there, but he's not your guy. He's not your guy. I just gonna throw that. He's gone. I've heard way too many things about Lancaster that makes all of these names irrelevant because he's that type of locker room guy where if things are going good, he's great and he's great, and Louisville saw success with that. But when things are bad, that locker room is going to become hell. And I understand that. I've seen some of these players play at really good levels, but one bad person can ruin an entire locker room. And everybody goes on the worst skid of their life.
I can't wait for the Bad Buddy.
Oh man,
I can't wait.
Dude, that is our Achilles heel every year, and it's going to be the same thing this year.
I completely get it. Like Lexington has the potential to be a top 4 team, but I think Diouf and Lancaster, with him leaving and Lancaster being there, and you guys go on one bad little run, it's over.
Well, and I think again that's a great point. It's like this balancing of the egos and everything else, because we've seen these like super teams in League One before, and it tends not to work out well. CC Madison every year, where every year they're a paper tiger, and every year they just don't necessarily live up to expectations, and you get the wrong guys in the wrong place, and all of a sudden, like you're fucked because it doesn't gel. And there's infighting, and there's whatever else, and you just have a lot of egos, and that's in pro sports. That's a big part of it, is balancing the egos and the expectations and the playing time, like everything else that it has to have, and that's like the secret sauce for most of the successful teams is you can balance all the other shit.
So let me ask you this before we move on to the next one. But so the goal scoring record right now in the league is 61. Do you think Lexington breaks it?
No, definitely not.
No.
We cut the game so much. There's no way that anybody breaks any sort of like league-wide record this year. Maybe like on a per game basis, but not overall. Like it would
I think you have someone challenge for the record for Golden Boot, but I don't think all of those guys can be hot at the same time.
Unless we count the cup in there, though. There's just not enough games. That's the problem. There's not enough games.
You know how they do the goalkeeper award? It has nothing to do with clean or anything like that. I have a feeling we'll probably switch to something like that for like Golden Boot and things like that as well, just to stay in line with what we've done in the past, like goals per game or something like that. Just to
I know. What's his name? One of the Omaha people was making a joke about that today, where my hot take was going to be Omaha was going to beat the points record for the league, and it's like that's funny, but we all know that's not going to happen because there's a third of the games.
Yeah.
Right. But no, I think that'd be smart. Well, I think that's a big question too. Is are we counting the cup for regular league awards? I don't know.
Yeah,
it will be interesting. I mean, at least I think if you counted them for the regular, like the regular season cup with the regular season, that would make sense because then we're like functionally at the same number of games. But I don't know. Anyways,
I don't know. We're gonna figure it out. You'll see. All right. So I
On to
have the
Noko.
duty. Yeah, I have the duty of making Zion either very, very happy or getting an angry DM.
so
Which,
Eamon, our email is walkin90pod at Aaron, ARAN, sweatermills.com.
There you go.
We're there. So all your comments, send them there. We will get them. We will review them, and we're ready for them. Again,
All right.
walkin90pod at ARAN, sweatermills.com. See you there, buddy.
Iman, if I do a great job, send me the sweater link. All right. Send me the sweater link.
Send me
All
your
right,
Aaron.
so here we go. Look, I've been able to sweaters be a little bit stretchy because I'm a little fluffy. All right, so the team last year finished third place. They made the semis, losing 3-1 to eventual champs North Carolina FC. Overall, they were one of the more exciting teams in the league. Like they probably had the best attacker, assister in the league since in league history. And they had a striker that was in absolute hot form. They lost some key parts for that team, like I just mentioned, with Trevor Ahmad, Arthur Rogers leaving the USL, C with Norty, which is a hilarious name. Fella and Luke going to different teams in USL League, which was kind of surprising because you would have thought a lot of that team had the potential to go up to USLC, but that's neither here nor there. A lot of key players have left the club that have made them heavy hitters in USL League One. So that's kind of a concern. Like, they lost a lot of these guys that made them such a feared team on the counterattack. Like you knew you was playing playing Noko. If you leave any space on the wings or in the back, you're getting counterattack, you're getting gashed. That was the thing. But the thing that stayed the same, I want all of you to look at me. Get back on screen.
I had to go get my charger.
I want you to look at me when I say this.
Okay.
Remember who picked goalkeeper of the year last year to be the breakout goalkeeper of the year? It was this guy. I picked him, Delgado.
Brandon?
All y'all laughed at me. He's back.
I'm just glad we're not picking end of the year awards tonight because I would do so bad.
Oh yeah.
I really like the new format. The lack of accountability is really great for me.
Yeah, we're not doing that yet. We're gonna wait for those. But a lot of the super subs in the team are back, such as Mark Hernandez. Fuck him. Billy King returns. Bruno Rondon is a key return as well. I'm expecting him to leave in the offseason. I was expecting him to leave in the offseason, but he returns. So the key stretch of this team is May 1st to June 1st. So that's the stretch of the season you want to watch out for, that month right there. They will play Union Omaha and One Knocks Away. They'll play Charlotte at home for their first home game of the season. So their first home game is that to June. So it's kind of a long wait. And then they have Union Omaha away. This is a tough stretch just because they played 3 League Cup games with only 1 home game. So within this stretch, they're playing 3 league games, 3 League Cup games, but only 1 game in the actual league. So it's kind of like, how do they balance it? How do they figure out how to go about playing this? Because depth-wise of Noko, I don't know if it's strong enough as it was in years past. Like, if you took Noko's team from last year, I think they'd be fine in the stretch. This Noko team, I don't know how Iman kind of balances that out. Like, does he just be like, all right, you know what? Let's focus a little bit more on the League Cup. Let's get that over, and then we'll kind of pick it up. Points may be near the end of the season where they may be. Who knows? But that's kind of an interesting thing there. Last year, we knew who the playmaker was and the goal scorer was in the team. There's kind of the questions around the team. I don't know who that is that year. Like, I don't know who's the key playmaker team. It was Arthur Rogers. We all knew that. Like, despite where this man played outside the center back, we knew he was going crazy somewhere in the field. We knew who the top goal scorer was. It was Trevor Ahmad. Even though Ivan Power's back, we don't know if he's going to hit Ivan Power old. And there's nothing wrong. Like, it's a miracle that Ivan Power is even on this field, and God bless him. Like, I'm so happy to see that he's still on this roster and still playing. We just don't know if he's getting back to those levels yet. We don't know yet. But they lose those two things, and those are hard things to come back from because, as you remember, another team like Richmond lost a key sister, lost a key part of that midfield. They weren't the same team, so that's kind of the concern that I have there. And also a key part of it is like Arthur Rogers' ability to play anywhere on the field was so effective because he was a tactical nightmare. He's kind of like the unguardable player in the league last year. Like no one could guard him, especially when you put him up there. And he made things so much easier for Noko to hit on that counterattack. So who will step up in those spots and who will be the main goal scorer is kind of like the two things I'm kind of concerned about. So my crazy prediction about Noko. Noko will lead the league in saves per 90 and accurate long passes played per 90. Like this team led the league in that. And they'll be one of the better counter-attacking teams in the league. Even much so that I think they'll win in the League Cup because I think the format fits perfectly for them. Like they'll be that fourth place team. Like they won't win their group, but they'll be that fourth place team to get in just based on goal scored and then make it to the final.
Well, honestly, they could because Omaha has Lexington and Madison as the other two team, their paired partners. So they could sneak it over Omaha because Omaha is like probably the toughest matchup in the League Cup for like contra partners. So it's like they could easily get that spot because Spokane and Fuego are going to be Spokane and Fuego.
Yeah. So the ceiling, honestly, it's the 9th place. Might go further in the season tournament. Like I said, like I got them winning it. But the floor for this team is 4th to 6th. But they will cause an upset of a high seeded team. I think, and this is going to sound weird, I think the high seeded they are, I think plays against them. So like, I can't really think of a good example right now. But like, if they're a 3 or a 2 seed, it plays against them in my mind, just because of the counterattacking style that this Noko team, I think, is going to be very, really good at. Like, if they're on the road, they can nick some points off the team that's kind of nervous being at home in a playoff environment. So, once again, I open the floor to any questions. Outside of email Zion, send all angry emails to walking90 at don'tatme.com.
Don't have me. Yeah, I see. There's like logically, there's nothing wrong with that with that preseason prediction. It was very thought out and well planned, but you put them in 4th, and so that's why you are now enemy number 1.
Well, I will say I do love this that the coach is fired up. He wants respect. You know, yada yada yada. It's like, hey man, we're unpaid interns. Like we're just here.
I'm doing this off of he went up there. They're done great by Alex here in Richmond. No preseason coverage, and yeah.
Well, right, and I think that's the hardest thing too. It's like I don't know. We have the knowledge that you have given to us. So if you feel like we have understated the abilities of your club, it's because your club has not given us the access that we deserve.
Or once again, give us the merchandise.
All right.
And we'll put you in the 1.
Casey still owes me one of those god-ass, ugly, orange-ass jerseys from last year. He's like, I was like, that's the ugliest fucking jersey in the league. He's like, I'll send you one if we beat. Just like, I'll send you my address. I will wear one if we lose to you. Like, I will gladly do that.
Yeah, that's why my pick is that Tormenta is going to win the league. Because I have a Tormenta jersey now, thanks to Chip.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. We're cheap.
Rich, yeah.
We're very cheap.
They win the league. They win triple.
And also,
I didn't even
like.
Here's the thing too: is Bolt keeps receipts. Brandon learned that the hard way.
No, I got a video.
Well, okay, he tried to keep one on me, and I was like, "Well, we literally split the baby. You got the league trophy. I got the cup. Like we're splitting right here."
That's my worst case scenario. Is like all the teams in the league start keeping receipts and just doing like super cuts of our wrong takes. It's like fuck. So we've had some wild. Well, I still remember my Fuego leads the league in attendance.
Oh my god, yo, that was bad.
So in fairness, as a USL 2 team, they had a higher average league attendance than everybody else in League 1. So that wasn't that crazy. But then that year they had like less than 1,000. So like, ooh,
If there's any
That's a good
team
thought.
that can write member
Yeah.
not to do fan relations, it's Fuego.
yeah. Well, in fairness, I knew that one was bad before the season started because like their stadium cap was below like Madison, Omaha, and Richmond. So it's like, oh, they're not getting it. But it's like, well, they'll have a of a point when they like are at like 100% capacity. And it's like, nope. Sub 1,000. It's like, woo.
Yeah, that was bad.
But anyways, Spokane, how are they going to do this year?
Spokane.
Zaya definitely has a binder.
Oh God. And I hate that I'm a part of this.
Yo, question. Yeah, all right. I don't know how familiar y'all are with wrestling, but do y'all remember the storyline of Chris Jericho having the list on WWE? Like that's how I imagine Zaya. Oh, if I can find, you know what? I'm gonna find the meme.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Spokane. Where did they finish last year? At home, because they were with all of us on the couch. At home. Like, look, they were still building and wheeling and dealing and all that. Look, I don't know. Okay. They won't hear, but now they here with us. We'll see how this goes. What changed? Their existence. They are here, and that is, and nothing stayed the same because we don't know what they have in store for us. Let's just throw it out there. Key parts of their season, the whole damn thing, because we don't know. We don't have anything to reference. Like we saw what they did last. No, we didn't see any of that. We don't know if they're about to put 11 they are going to be 11 random guys, but it could literally be like the fans from the street playing better soccer at pickup than them all on the field. We don't know. We can infer because some of these names are pretty good. You know, they have a good attack. I'm a little suspect on, well, when I say attack, I mean everybody is a midfielder. I think they're literally going to play a 2-6-2. There's the way that their lineup, their website is set up. That looks like exactly what they're going to do. It makes no sense, but here we are. What you really want are my hot takes, and
that's why we subscribe.
That's why, you know.
Walkin90 on YouTube, Walkin90 on Twitter.
I'm gonna give you this. I think that Open Cup run is gonna go crazy. It's gonna be wild. It's gonna make some people shake their heads and go, USL League One might be that one. But they're gonna finish dead last in the league. they're not gonna do shit.
What?
They're not gonna do shit. Like the highest that they're gonna go, and I know my prediction, my ceiling was not dead last. But the floor is fucking dead last for them, okay? But they're gonna make some noise for USL League One in the Open Cup, and I just can't wait. Okay, I'm just here to stir the pot. I'm a fan free agent in League One this year, and we just ready.
So Hunt's saying Ebony's just being like having a cookout in the woods. You can hear like Soldier's song play in the background slowly on banjo, like, oh fuck, they coming for me.
Yeah, we here. I want all your hot takes. Prove me wrong. Give me a jersey and prove me wrong.
Or just the jersey.
Or just a jersey. Yeah.
Either we're not getting any Spokane merch now.
We're very cheap. In fairness, I don't want that. In fairness, I don't want that Spokane jersey. You keep that.
Yeah,
you know
that merch is gone.
Don Smart to Spokane in 2024 so he can go to Santa Barbara in 2025 is perfect. perfect.
Well,
See?
sort of break some breaking news. Santa Barbara is very much alive.
Yeah.
Check your email, you'll see.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Jersey and Bourbon would win me. Absolutely.
Yeah. Ebony's like, I'm a free agent. Like brown liquor
You
and
can-
some jerseys. You got me. I'm in.
You can buy my love, okay? You can buy my love.
Sound like a stepfather.
It's like I'm
You
not
want me to love you?
impartial.
Body gifts.
I mean, that is
It's
my
like
love language.
it's like for enough liquor and cloth, like I will be your mouthpiece on this podcast.
Absolutely. You said here's a jersey, and what was your favorite liquor? I'm more of a tequila person, but I will still drink brown liquor. My favorite drink is free, and second is cold. Okay, I'm good.
Who was it? Baghdad Mike?
Like,
Baghdad Bob. Ebony's willing to be the League One Baghdad Bob. It's like just as long as the check clears, she's like, yep, I'm in.
I'm here for you. I'm here for you.
Fuego's the best team in the league. Yeah, they might be 0-23 so far, but they're clearly above and beyond.
You said Jermaine called me and he needed me to. Got you, Fuego. Win an open cup. They're doing the treble. Damn it. There we go.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you. Let Jermaine send me some merch. I'll sell my so high. Sell my so high. Let's flash that.
He said, fuck the kickers. Jermaine Jones sent me a jersey.
Let Jermaine Jones call this phone. You want me to do what? Yeah, man, I'll cover the team. I got you, big dog.
Yo, bet.
Also, I just wanted to share this picture with y'all.
Oh, it's
What just
For
happened?
those of you, I just want you to know I just did this under 5 minutes. For those of you that are WWE fans, you know the storyline of Chris Jericho and the list. This is Cyan this year.
I think I
We should do the rest of the show just for this photo.
I'm just gonna save it until when I say derailing. This is the photo I'm gonna use. Okay. That's it's just the look of everyone being like, I can't believe this just happened.
Oh man.
speaking
And
of
you
that,
know what?
like,
It's so beautiful.
I was gonna say, speaking of that, I'm about to be the voice of Forward Madison here. So
Oh, I got you.
So before we start, I just want to make very sure that everyone's very clear, especially MJ Meerkat, Scarface, Zlaka the Chastity Cage, and who am I forgetting? Gregory. Gregory. The only guy who uses like Christian name on the Twitter.com. I'm speaking for Kyle. So anything I said that's wrong, blame on Kyle, not me. So where did Madison place last year? Madison placed in 6th, lost to Noco in the first round. Should have finished lower. Kyle's note, not mine.
And we lost Chip. Damn, ain't that about it?
There was no way USO 1 higher ups were gonna let Chip talk. Like, we gotta be
No, so
That's
Anyway,
the weird way at me.
I got my joke. The big joke is Kyle's actually pretty like medium on forward this year.
Yeah.
So it's like, don't
Honestly.
blame me, blame Kyle. Like he's pretty medium. So his comment on what has changed, added attacking Callan and Juan Galindrez and Sharef Die. Also newer midfield with Aiden Messias returning, but adding Devin Boyce, John Murphy, and Wolfgang Prentice. So my comment here is, when is Forward Madison doing the throwback night, but they're wearing 2021 Union Omaha jerseys?
Honestly, if they could put a little owl on there for just a bit, it would sell.
Dude, that would be the if they did like the 2021 Omaha jersey with the Madison crest, that would be so fucking funny.
Oh,
But it's almost too self-aware for Madison to do, but it'd be hilarious.
I kind of like it though.
No,
I'm here for the chaos and for the shithousery.
Oh, dude, hey Greg, I know I butchered that. I don't know these fuckers' names. Like they're not gonna make the playoffs anyway, so who cares?
That wasn't from Kyle, just to be clear.
that part wasn't from Kyle.
Kyle did say that. I said that. I'm like, Greg's a friend from Discord. But no, that would honestly though, Greg, now that you work for Madison, here's your bet. That would be the funniest bet that you guys could do is when you play Omaha, wear the vintage Omaha kits with the Madison logo on the kit. Because that would be so fucking funny. Because you have 6 guys from Omaha in 2021. That'd be hilarious. So, what to say the same? The defensive court returns. Shipman is back in goal. Back three of Mitch Osmond, Timothy Mell, and Jacob Kroll will be in the back three with Stephen Payne will be at the right wing. Kyle, we need to talk about your grammar here, buddy. But that's fine.
Yeah. That one, I lost that one.
But again, I think the point is they bring back Galindres, the back line's the same. I think that's been a big strength for them is their back line, and I don't know, whatever. I know this is hard for me to talk fast about them.
Trying so hard. He's doing his best.
And this is why you reading it is the best part.
I know, and that's why this is good content. But again, I think the point being is like they brought in a good bunch of seasoned pieces, people that have been successful, and I think ultimately for Madison, traditionally, they've brought in good people every single year. And for Madison, the question of their success is like, will they gel? Will they be good players? Like yada yada yada. And I think for them, unfortunately, the answer has been no. I think they've had success recently, and we'll see. So the next question is key part of the season. June 20th through August 3rd, Madison plays Omaha twice. Go Omaha. Home against Knoxville, a nationally televised Henny Derby on the road. 3 home matches against Flaco, Lexington, and NoCo. If they can get through the stretch, that can have Madison sitting in a very good spot, not only for the playoffs, but potentially for the Shield.
Oh, that's the homer in him coming out because what? No, Kyle.
Am I doing a good Kyle? I want to make sure I'm doing him justice.
Yeah, you're reading the words that he typed, and that's all we can ask for. But the words that he typed are garbage.
Well, I don't think it's wrong. I think that's
wrong in the sense that he like that. Yes, that is a good stretch, but bro.
Well, here's the real thing. And I want to make sure I'm allowed to say this. Can we shit on the Henry Derby coverage?
Yes.
Yeah, that's fine.
Is that fine?
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure they're not going to interview me nor Kyle.
Oh yeah,
right.
They're probably going to hit up you. They're probably going to hit up you and Brandon and be like, "See, you guys are winning Henry Derby, right?"
Exactly. Yes.
Over you're going to be like, "No."
It's
One
gonna
thing
be like,
they're going to look at you and be like, "So
like,
you invented the Henry Derby, right?"
Well, right. I'm waiting for the email to be like, Mr. Nelson, we're really excited to interview for the Henny Derby. We're so excited to talk to you about this tournament. And it's like, the fuck are you talking about?
What?
I mean, and I want to hope
they're going to interview other Richmond people who've been to the Henny Derby, and they're going to go, "How did you enjoy it?" And they're going to be like, "Why are you talking to me?"
Well, and I obviously hope they do it right, but if they don't talk to Yogi and Kyle, they're doing it. Very
wrong.
wrong.
Right, very wrong.
Kyle, the jokes are gonna be fucking endless. It's gonna be good commentary.
Which Ethan, I'm saying your name 3 times because I know you listen. Ethan, You listen to this podcast. If you fuck this up, we have your email and we're gonna let you know.
Right.
I know your Christian name. We'll
I
fuck you
know
up.
you're. I
That's
know
like
you're
the
Christian.
worst. That's
You
the
established
worst
that.
Southern insult you could have. That's crazy,
Dude, I know his full fucking name.
that's so
But
hilarious.
dude, how USL 1 appropriate would that be? Like, we do this like Henny Derby thing and we don't talk to Kyle and Yogi. That'd be like the most on brand like USL fuck up.
It'd be CBS fuck up, right? Because they're the
Well,
ones
no,
putting it on
because
sports.
it's
Oh,
USL. It's USL feeding them. Like, they don't know who the fuck to talk to.
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, we want people to talk to, and it's like, who do we talk to? And they're like, talk to, I don't know, Chip Nelson about the fucking Madison game. It's like, why are you talking to me?
Get some good
Like, that's
Madison
not-
content. We'll have Kyle write tips.
I can see the meeting now. So who created the Henny Derby?
Chip
Oh, it's the
Nelson.
two black guys? Are you sure about this?
Are we
He's
we
from
sure?
where? Oh, he's gang affiliated. He wears red. You sure they don't have any white people we can get? What about multicultural? What about biracial?
We like this
Sure.
Yogi guy, but is there a white gentleman, maybe Alex, we could talk to?
Right. Be like, is his legal name Yogi? Because that sounds white. But he looks like an offensive lineman. Are we
No.
sure about this?
Well, and hopefully here's the thing: is hopefully they don't fuck it up. Hopefully they do the right thing. Ethan, we know you're listening. Ethan, I know your Christian name. I have your email. Don't fuck this up. Hopefully you don't fuck this
Christian
up.
name.
is still the greatest insult, Southern insult I've heard in a very long time. I appreciate you.
I have your Christian name.
But anyways, back to Madison.
Keep reading.
Back to Madison. Noticeable questions. Madison has a second half slide, obviously. The last 2 years, will they be over to this year? No. Is this year the attack some points? It looks on paper? No. Well, I will say Kyle's prediction is that Madison was a player shield, which is not a very spicy prediction.
But you're not doing both. That's my thing. They're not doing both.
They can do whatever the fuck they want. They ain't doing shit this year. But yeah, sure, fine, why not? But then his ceiling floor is shield winners, floor playoff team. Okay, so his ceiling is the shield winners, and his floor is playoff teams that lose in the first round. Fair enough.
No.
So I
the no was not a part of Kyle's commentary.
Kyle chose to go on vacation today. Kyle chose not to be here. This is his fault. So I'm gonna opine.
Yo, we got 144 people watching, and this is your first time ever watching Walking 90. Just know the shows aren't this long, but they are always this funny, bro.
They're always this wild.
Oh my God.
That was so great.
So here's my opinion. Madison has traditionally had issues gelling players into their system, had issues getting players to buy into their system. They have two prima donnas up top. It's gonna go bad. Like, it's not gonna happen good. And that's my take. Like, ultimately, hopefully for them, they get to work. But personally, it's like, man, like with Cheney and Galindres, like that seems like fucking fire and gasoline. And if they can make it work, like that is so great for them. But oof, I don't see it. Anyways, Central Fuego.
Oh man, I'm about to get kicked off this podcast. All right. All right.
This is
All
the
right,
part
here
of
we
the show
go.
where, oh man, Tormentor's up next. Oh, this is gonna be hilarious.
All right. So
My Tormenta
Fuego.
bid is good. My bid's good for that one.
Won the wooden spoon. I came in dead last. I mean, honestly, I felt like it's not even funny anymore. Like, I kind of feel bad for Fuego, like just in general, like their fans. Because that was 2 years in a row now. It's like it was funny in year one, and then it got not funny, and I got kind of sad. So, hopefully this year will be a little better. What's changed? I wrote yes. I mean, we all saw the CBS thing. We all saw him publicly say, I got rid of everybody I could because they were losers. And so
Imagine if you did that over here.
I don't want them bringing me down too. So like we saw that he brought 6 back, right? Is that true, or is it 5 back?
6
No, he
right
brought
now.
4 back, and the reason he brought the 4 back is because they had contracts.
Well, I think we're at
Right.
6 at the moment.
Because
With the new
Mohamed
setup.
Dabo
Oh,
came
okay.
back. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mohamed Dabo got signed today. Re-signed, I guess. So he's brought a few pieces back. Like, honestly, some the pieces he's kept are pretty good, right? Like, I think even if they didn't have contracts, those people would probably be the ones worth keeping. So when can we do this now? When can we cut? Well, I'm getting there. Don't worry. So, I mean, they kept a few good pieces. I think, with the signing of Chris Heckenberg, like, you've got a good midfield core there. Other than that, though, like, they haven't kept really anything, so there's not much that's similar. And so it's going to be tough for them to gel. I mean, like, their preseason has been fine, I guess, but they've, preseason's for experimenting. We always say it doesn't count, but at the same time, it hasn't been great either. And their start to the season is not easy at all. So obviously they start at Tormenta this weekend away. Their second game is Union Omaha. Then they then they play against Forward Madison, which if you ask Chip, like that's not a big deal at all. It'll be fine. But
They're going to be good. They're going to be good.
I think in the real world,
playoff team.
I think that's going to be a big game. So like when I was looking through like the most important time of the season for them, it's going to be the time from when they play Omaha the first time to when they play Omaha the next time, which is March 16th until May 29th. So they play in that period after they play Omaha. They play Madison, Richmond, Chattanooga, Spokane in the League One Cup. They play Charlotte Independence. They play Lexington in the League One Cup, and then they play Knoxville. And their season does not get any easier than that. Like, it gets tougher, a lot tougher after they play Knox, because they go back to the League One Cup competition, and then back-to-back they have Omaha and then NoCo in the League One Cup competition before playing Richmond again. So for me, like, they have to get a lot of points in that period between the two times they play Omaha. If they don't, it's going to be a really, really rough ride. Like, the fans have already experienced so much over the past few years, and I know, like, it seems like they're all in good spirits. Jermaine Jones is there. That's awesome. I think he could do a great job. But if the players don't deliver, it could go south quick, because everybody's been so disappointed. I mean, honestly, everybody's been so disappointed for so long. What happens? You know what I mean? If they don't get a good run of games in there, I don't know. That's where I think they've got to do great right there. Get some wins in early between those two games, and if they do, I could see something happen. Otherwise, I don't know. And to be honest, they've brought in probably, I think they've signed 15 or 20 people at this point, like, that have actually assigned, and I'm not super impressed by, like, and that sounds bad. I don't know if impressed is the right word. There haven't been many names that have been like, oh my gosh, like, that's a really good signing. And so, like, other than maybe Chris Heckenberg as a new signing, like, that's a big deal. And there's some other people as well, but I think there hasn't been really anything exciting. And so, yeah, I hope they prove me wrong. but I'm going to go ahead and say it now. I'm going to say
What? Is this what you're doing in the corner?
I think if they don't do well at the beginning, then they're screwed. But I really feel like, even though this is going to sound crazy, this is my crazy prediction. This is absolutely insane. I think they could crush the League One Cup simply because they have to do something good. And even though they have literally the hardest schedule in the cup, like you just play Omaha, NoCo over and over again, and then you have to play Lexington. It's just like, this is insane. I know. I think they could make it super far in the cup because they have to. They have to. Like, that's it. It's not because they're good enough to do it. They don't have a choice. Like, if they don't make it far in the cup, I just don't see their season going well. And so I said their ceiling's the playoffs. Like, if they make, again, but we said that earlier, like with Knox, woohoo. You know, like, your ceiling is 8th place, in my opinion. And their floor is, we get the 3rd 2-time wooden spoon winner in a row, which would be honestly my preferred thing, even though, like, not for the fans, but just for the sake of continuity.
We all know who the fans want to be the wooden spoon winner.
Who do they want to be the wooden? I'll bite. Don't worry, guys. I got this. Who do they want to be the wooden spoon winner?
You know, Brandon. You know, Brandon. Madison.
Those aren't Kyle's predictions.
They crave it. They crave it. They want it.
Again,
and to answer your
Kyle
question,
stopped
John,
writing,
it's
like-
got to be at least 4.
Cal really regrets going to Toronto today.
Oh my God.
He's gonna wake up from an email from Connor Cale. Will be like, "So Kyle, I hear you want us to be the wooden spoon winners this year." It's like, no.
Oh.
So I'm up again.
These are Chip's words, by the way.
These are my actual words. I'm
They're
not.
actually-
In fairness, those were Kyle's words. I just embellished where appropriate.
Embellish is what we're gonna call it.
So I've got the South Georgia Fighting Riches. So what has changed for Tormenta? Almost everything. Most of their big names, Sterling, Kingsford, Busa, Kale, Knudsen, have moved on to different squads. They brought in several USL 1 veterans, Doyle, Stebbin, Lombardi, but a lot of the people being brought in are relative unknowns. Development and scouting have always been strengths for Tormenta, so while on paper they may not seem to be that scary, they may surprise some people, especially with the expanded playoff format. And again, I think the comment there is, again, they lost a shit ton, right? Like, there's no question about that. Tormenta has been a team that has been very good at identifying talent that's not been identified elsewhere. They bring in talent from God knows where else, from college, everywhere else, and they seem to do well. So Tormenta is always a scary squad because they may not seem like killers on paper, but they bring in some random ass dude you never heard of from like Southwest Missouri State, and it's like, oh shit, that guy's good as fuck. And that seems to be the case this year. So what do they return? Almost nothing. They return Ian Cameron as skipper and a total of 6 players. The players they brought back are all solid contributors to a borderline playoff squad. Again, they were 7th last year. Arguably could have been higher. Didn't get it done, but they have a lot of talent. Will they get it done? We'll see. So for the biggest stretch of their season, I said the last month and a half of the season, with playoff expansion, very few teams are going to be out of the hunt, so they can dig down deep. They may be able to make a push for a playoff spot. Again, 8 of the 12 teams make the playoffs. That's generous. That's very generous for them. If they can figure it out late, like, they're going to be fine. But I don't know. I don't think a lot of people are expecting much out of Tormenta this year.
I'm certainly not.
No, and it's not being rude. It's just, I don't know.
That's too much turnover at once for me. Honestly,
Yeah. Well, for a noticeable turnover, I said their whole fucking roster.
Yeah, and not in like a good way, like in a bad way. Like,
well, right.
Like,
and
there's
again,
good roster turnover, kind of like what Chatta did.
Well, in Omaha,
Yeah,
and a couple other teams, but for them, it's like, and who knows? But the next question is crazy prediction. My crazy prediction is they make the Cup playoffs. That East region is very weak, very, very weak. So it's Charlotte, RVA, Greenville, Tormenta, and then they play Central Valley Fuego and Knox. So they have a very easy path.
Yeah.
And so like them like lucking into it, like the East regions, like the Central and the West are tough, right? And so them making it out of the East it's an easy region. So it's not completely crazy to say that they could like luck out and like make that playoff. And I think that'd be big. You know, again, I think that's as much as I hated on the USL 1 Cup, it seems cool in retrospect because like it's going to allow a lot of teams to vie for trophies, a lot of teams to have reasonable games. It's still stupid. Like the League 1 Cup is still stupid, like very dumb. But it allows teams that maybe aren't in the running for other things to have something to play for, and that's cool. Ceiling, floor. Ceiling would be host a playoff game. If they could host a playoff game, that'd be huge. Probably not. And their floor would definitely be like wooden spoon.
The entire table.
Well, no. Yes, but again, I think, but that's the problem though with this format is it's like so many teams are in the running, like more than likely, like they'll be in the playoffs or like a spoon contender, but it's like,
but that feels weird because the playoffs is 8 out of 12, so it's
well,
like
right.
So there's really only one way to go. It's either you're in the playoffs or you're very much fighting for. And
doing the thing is like you're still a bum ass fucking team if you're like the 8th place team, but like you're still in the playoffs. But it's like it's stupid, but that's what we're choosing to do, and that's here we are.
Also, I don't know if y'all seen Tormenta's press conferences. Ian Cameron looked stressed in every one. Like, he looked stressed. Like, I don't know if the IRS is after that boy or what. He looked tired.
Yeah,
he looked tired. All right. So I think I got the last team. I got a good old Charlotte. Probably the new most hated team in the league. I think they love that. I think
based purely off the poll results of the hot or not kit jersey, and everyone's saying nope.
It's still a bad kit.
People didn't even read kit; they just read Charlotte and they said, no.
Yeah, I think so. That's probably how it went. All right, so
I missed the vote.
Yeah,
the team about a kid. Oh my gosh! I wish I had seen that.
Oh my god! All right, so this team finished 4th, lost in penalties in NCFC in the final, which I would say is the best USL League 1 final we have had in league history in the 5 years. Best League 1 final. Not much, honestly. They haven't really lost too much. Most of the guys that have left were backups. It feels like they weren't key contributors. They were just guys. That's about it. They resigned a large, and I mean a large portion of that team from last year. Like, if you would have asked everyone that covered this league what team would probably have the most overhaul based on squad age, it would have been Charlotte. That's not what happened. They looked at compelled overtime to Miguel Lombardi. It was like, y'all got one more year, y'all, right? Come on down. Like, that's really what it is. Like, so they're back. I think Dane Kelly's back. Austin Pack is back as well. I'd probably say between Austin Pack, Delgado, and Duhu, those are probably the top 3 goalkeepers in USL League, in my opinion. So this is the part of the season where I think they're really going to get tested at. They had the struggles in a row last season. They were 367, so the bulk of their wins came at home. August 14th to December 21st, so really like a month and a half. They have a long road stretch where only 2 home games, Waco and Richmond, are in between that. So they have to travel to Madison, Greenville, Knoxville, Tormenta. Is that a bad road trip in terms of travel? Because it's all kind of close to each other. But the thing about it is you're going to tough places. Like, we know Madison is going to be a notorious place to play. Greenville is a tough place to play because that's a rivalry. Knoxville is going to be a tough place. And Tormenta, depending on how Tormenta is doing in that part of the season. It's going to be tough on them. And if they continue with the road struggles, this could be the part of the season where they can fall from like 2nd to like 6th. That is that part of the season. If they can manage this and get through it, they'll be fine. But if they slip up there, that's the part of the season to look at. Truly, the only question I have in the squad is squad age. Charlotte loves a good high press. I say high press in a way of like, they really don't have any strikers. Like, their formation is like a 3-5-2. So they love pressing up on you in space and getting you to the midfield and turning you over. It's just all about that squad age. Like, the squad depth is also a concern as well, just in terms of can Charlotte have enough rotation to keep things fresh and guys not get worn out. My crazy prediction is they will lead the league in saves and clearances per 90 because this is quick tempo football. Like, they will. So let me put it to you like this: Charlotte will win a game by 3+ goals, and they'll lose a game by 3+ goals within the span of a month. Like, don't be surprised if they beat somebody 4-1 and they turn around the next week and lose somebody 1-4. Like, it can happen. My ceiling for this team is a midseason collapse, so they miss out on the playoffs as a 9th seed. But my floor for this team, I know you're gonna hate me for this, but I kind of miss USL League One champions. that's honestly the season for it, because if they can get everything together, like, I don't think this team is going to care about the League Cup.
No,
I think
to be fair,
put all their in the league and go from there.
To be fair, they were a kick away from being champions.
Yes.
And they bought back the squad that did that. So that's not bad. Like,
I have a
can
question,
see
Evan.
Yeah.
And I want you to respond just with one word only. I don't want you to elaborate.
Okay.
If Charlotte sent you a kit, would you make them champions? Would you say they're champions? If Charlotte sent you a kit?
No.
And I'm saying I don't want you to elaborate because I know if you elaborate, let's just leave it there.
Oh, man.
Okay. Good to know. Okay.
I got you.
So I'll open the floor up to any questions about Charlotte Independence.
You mentioned age. Like,
yes.
That age got them to the final and to a penalty kick, right?
It did, but also they had to kind of, let's be real, like, they weren't winning the games in regular time. Like, it was get the extra time, PKs. Get the extra time, PKs. Like, which is not a bad strategy. I'm not mad at it. My thing is, I think if Charlotte wants to be successful here, I think they just dump the League Cup. Like, play the rotational guys in there and save your guys for the league and let them play that. And you go.
I think that's the big question: is are teams going to all take the League Cup seriously?
I don't think Charlotte will. Like Charlotte to me is a team that will not take the League Cup series. And you're right, John. They are a year older. That's what I'm saying. Like this squad is not built on winning on all fronts. Like that's what they're not like trouble winners.
And I would think if you're in the Eastern Division, you would take it very seriously. That's the winnable route.
It is, but this is the team where I think their main focus is getting back to the USL League Cup final.
Yeah, because like as an Omaha fan looking at the League Cup, it's like, fuck. We got the hardest route, and we have Lexington and Madison as our roadblocks. It's like this is not favorable.
Yeah,
but
whereas for Charlotte, I think they look at it as just like, yeah, whatever.
And I talk about it on Twitter or X or whatever the fuck we're calling it these days. I said, it's a very begrudgingly, I think it's a fun tournament because there are so many things at play, and it's so stupid. It is so stupid. Like, don't get me wrong that it's a fun tournament. It's dumb. It's very dumb. It's like this could be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, what's up, man?
So this comment, Pat can only do so much. We were saying the same thing last year, though. Like that's a defense that just did not spark joy. And we were like, can he do it? And then he was like, fuck yeah, I can. And he did. So it was like, what do we like?
And that's true. Pat can only do so much, but I think the thing about Charlotte that works so well is that they have a good defense. Like let's be real. Like they got probably one of the best defensive signings this year, and Hugh Roberts. And this year. He's an upper tier center back in League One standard. He might lose a little bit of mobility. There's no knock against him. But I think he plays in the Charlotte hands, and we've seen it last year from Pac. Like, it's not like the case of like Akira, where Akira was making saves, but the thing was Akira's age. So you knew that there was going to be a follow-up effect, which we saw last year. Pac is, how old is Pac? Like 26, 27?
Sure. I'm looking that up.
What I'm just saying is like you have a lot more longevity with Pat to still make those saves and whatnot than I think they can run with 31.
31.
Yeah, okay.
31.
But a goalkeeper age is 31 ain't old.
31 goalkeeper age is not that old.
Yeah.
No.
So, I think they can do it. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I think the focus is this year. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if Charlotte looks at the League Cup and be like, all right, we use this to play the rotation guys and the younger guys in the squad and use this as a developmental route. Focus on the league, win the league title, and then next year, we'll see if we can fight on all fronts. But this year, I think their sole focus is getting back to the final. Like, that's it. They don't care about seeding. They don't care about where they are. Their thing is get to the final. Because they showed last year they can go on the road. They can go toe-to-toe with the best. They can play dirty scrap-out football. They can get to extra time, get into a penalty kick, and that's how the team win it.
Well, kids, let's end with this. Let's go around the circle. Let's do a hot take, cold take for League One season. Let's end it up. So
this is a long one. Yeah, go first.
Abby, you up first. Okay.
My hot take is that League One outdraws Championship on CBS.
Okay, love it. What's cold take?
Cold take, the game is going to be a 0-0 draw. The game that outdraws the championship on CBS is going to be a 0-0 draw, and we're all going to feel bad about it. There's going to be a 5-4 game on ESPN Plus that nobody sees.
Dude.
But the minute we get on CBS, the Henny Derby is going to be like a 1-1 draw or a 0-0 draw, and they're going to be like, I thought you said this shit was good.
Hey, folks, you should watch the Henny Derby here. By the way, it's a 0-0 game. Love it.
It's gonna outdraw everything that they put the championship, but it's gonna be the most boring Henny Derby we've ever watched in our lives.
I love it.
There you go.
Yogi, you're up. Hot
cold. Okay. So my hot take is Central Valley Fuego will lead the league in blowout losses this year.
Okay.
+2 blowout losses. Yeah, that's a hot take. My cold take is uh, hmm, my cold take is Emiliano Zaga will go back to be in the top 3 to go to boot race.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my cold take.
Love it. Brandon, hot take, cold take.
Mine was about Fuego. So,
Oh man.
Look, also, I just want to say this real quick before you go, Brandon. We got 159 people on the stream right now. For all of you who are watching, we love y'all. For sticking with us for almost 2 hours with this. We promise not every show is this long.
We love all of you except for the Madison fans. Fuck you.
That was in Kyle's notes. Okay.
That was in Kyle. Kyle literally wrote, "Fuck all the Ford Madison fans. They suck. Tell them they suck. My address is 1259 North Madison Avenue. Find me, bitch."
That's literally
comma, bitch. Comma, bitch.
He didn't write that grammar. That's not good.
Emphasis was on bitch.
That's good grammar. He did not write that part. Okay. Sorry. What'd you say, Brandon?
Okay. No, my hot take now. I've got my hot take. My hot take is that Chip goes to a Madison game, falls in love, and comes home with a reversible kit. And then suddenly on the podcast, he actually starts like saying that Madison's going to make the playoffs. And my cold take is that as soon as he starts wearing that shirt, they start losing.
Well, in Salah, like if I can make the deal with the devil, I'd make it right now.
Oh my God.
I've been sent a Madison kit. I own a Madison kit. I will wear a Madison kit if I can guarantee they lose. But also there's Madison fans that literally said there's a few Madison fans that have said if I step foot in their city, it's fight on sight. So
all right, so let's be honest. You're in Madison, Wisconsin. I want to see that fight.
I take well shit. Honey, Kristen's a black belt. People don't know about her. Kristen's black belt, Taekwondo black belt's like, hey, honey, go.
They're being mean to me on the internet. Go whoop their ass.
Honey, these Madison fans are being very rude to me. Could you please take care of them? I would very appreciate that, my dear.
Oh my God.
I love it. I fucking love it.
So
we gotta wrap this show up. We hitting 2 hours.
Yeah.
So here's my hot take. My hot take is that Madison figures it out. The strikers are striking, midfielding. They finally figure it out, but they fucking burn out in the playoffs, which is fine. But somehow, through some dark fucking magic, Tormenta wins the 2024 USL One Cup. That's my dark magic. We said hot takes. That's a hot take.
That's very hot take. Like
that's a very hot take. That's like
what the hell are you gonna do for your cold take?
That's like a monkey paw take too, or like, right. Oh, Madison's best team in the league. Tormenta wins. Well, cold take is gonna be like I said, my cold take is that Tormenta is the USL One Cup representative for the Eastern region. Like that region's weak. It's them, Greenville, Charlotte, and Richmond.
Yeah.
Like, and then their crossovers are Knoxville and Fuego. That's not a strong matchup. So that's my hot take. Yeah. That's
You
that's
can,
my
you
high.
can make. I guess you can make the case for any of those teams to get out of that region just because
But
it's just so.
but
Yeah.
Tormenta also has Knoxville and Fuego. That's weak.
I guess it's really the Fuego part that makes it even worse,
Right.
honestly.
And that's
So
the points. They beat Fuego. That's a 3 instead of 1 or 0, and I think that's what makes it for them. And I think that's why they end up being like the random ass team from the Eastern Division that makes it. So that's a very bad like second team setup.
All right.
Anyways, League One, super exciting. Do you want to do KS and Vibes this week?
yeah, that makes sense. Well, there's only 3 games, so it's kind of like what? Well,
What's the best game of
honestly,
the week? I think that's the easiest one. What's the best game of the week?
oh, the best games probably Greenville Spokane.
I'll take it.
No.
Yes, I
No.
think that one's gonna be fun. That's gonna
It is
be
gonna be
that's gonna be my vibes. The chaos is gonna
Okay.
be Tormenta versus Fuego.
Okay.
I think that's my vibes with chaos. I'm not prepared for whatever Spokane is about to throw at us. So I think that's what's going to make that game so interesting. So
I agree. I'm excited about that one. I'm gonna go with Lexington and NoCo for my vibes game.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking.
really,
I'm gonna chaos one being the same though. It's gonna be
Georgia Fuego. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think Lex Noco, it's teams that people think are going to be at the top of the table. I know we avoided that conversation today because it's not super productive ultimately, but I think Noco and Lex are going to be top of the league teams. So it's a nice little early preview. Yeah, that's the game of the week, I think, too.
What you got, Yogi?
KSO is definitely the Tormenta game, though, because that's going to be a shit show.
That's my vibes.
What's your vibes?
Tormenta Fuego.
That's your vibes, bro.
Hey, we all have different opinion of vibes. Vibes are
There's gonna be
vibes
There will
are
be a-
our own thing.
that I got. All right. So what's your chaos?
Lexington NoCo.
Oh,
Yeah.
all
I
right.
think- so the reason why I put Tormenta Fuego as vibes is I think it's gonna be a mellowed out game. Like it's a game that if you want to see how Jermaine Jones is going to attack the league, I think it's interesting from that standpoint. How Tormenta comes back after the disappointing season last year, I think that'd be a cool matchup to watch. I think the game that, of course, everyone's gonna be up for is Lexington and Knuckle, but I think it's gonna be just a wide open game. Like it wouldn't surprise me that game is 2-3.
Well, the dumb thing is we're working on a Jermaine Jones interview, folks. We're working on it.
Yeah.
But it's definitely like not like the League One sickos pick. Which is I think that's the weird thing about League One though. It's like there's so many like fucking sickos online where it's like, okay, like we're all aligned on like what the weird pick is.
But we all literally just pick different games here. Like it whatever happens, it's gonna be a very exciting opening weekend for USL in general. Because I mean, obviously I'm not playing, but my team will still be playing this Saturday. So
what league is your team in?
it's in a championship.
Oh, weird.
You know, yeah, that weird little league. But yeah, I'm I'm excited for just in general for League One to start again. Just because it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun year, a different year for sure. And I hope that we draw you, Richmond, for Open Cup. because I want to do that away day again.
Cool.
We here. We here.
Is that it? I think we're done. This is probably the longest show in show history. So for everyone, the 160 few people that are watching right now, thank you. Honestly, thank you for taking the time out of your day for listening to our show. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is season 4 of us doing this, or 3?
4.
Season 4? Wow.
Because 3 seasons of NCFC for me.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So this, as you all know, we are a bi-weekly show. Don't expect the show next week.
No.
You'll be waiting. We do bi-weekly here. So if you want to get weekly stuff for people to have more free time, check out League One on the Rocks. Check the USL League One show. League One Under the Sea. Is there another one? Is that it?
Brandon, are you weekly or bi-weekly?
Not sure yet.
Yeah.
You just know. It depends if Greenville wins. He records only when they win.
We'll see.
you only pod when you're winning? Is that what you just said? Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Goodbye.
Yeah, no, it's like every month or so.
Yeah, there you go. We have free time. Let's record. By the way, if you are following a team in this league, please go support the people that are covering this team, because they are not only fans, but they are doing the work of journalists that are unpaid. So please go support them in any way. If they got merch, if they got tailgates, anything, support, share, it's free. Please go do that. Help them out there. Also, enjoy the games. Have fun in the games. Please be safe above everything else, and enjoy it. You know, this is year 6 of the league. We're looking forward to the coverage we're about to bring you guys, some interviews. Who knows? We might do a watch along if we're bored enough. But Ship's gone because I think they're going to New York. Kyle's probably up in Canada smuggling crack cocaine across the borders. Brandon has coffee to go make. Eb has USLC to go destroy. And I have to go paint the town red. That's about it. So with that being said, for Chip, for Brandon, for Eb, and Kyle, and myself, we just want to say thank you for taking the time out of your day for listening to our show, because without you, we couldn't do it. So one last time, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And make sure to tip your neighborhood stripper. And Iman, please don't DM us.
And if you do, it's only